Welcome back to the HellfireComms Disneython. Today we're going to be watching the first of the Pixar movies of the marathon, The Incredibles, and I'm here today with the Brain Scratch crew. That's Ryan, Johnny, Ted, and Lewis. And Ryan, why don't you explain to our audience why you chose The Incredibles?
Because it's my favorite Pixar movie.
Me too!
I've never seen it.
What?
What?
I've never seen it.
What?
A rift already? That didn't take very long.
Welcome to Brain Scratch.
Oh, wow, really? This is one of my favorite Pixar movies of all time, right next to the Toy Story series. I mean...
I know, and I've actually been looking forward to seeing this for a while, but I've never gotten around to it.
Wow, I feel bad for you, Lewis.
This is a really good movie.
Like your first experience of The Incredibles is with a movie commentary and not sitting down and getting yourself immersed in the world of The Incredibles for yourself.
I know, and I don't think this thing even has subtitle tracks. I'm going to miss everything.
You should have thought of that before you agreed to sign on and do a movie commentary on it.
Well, that's a shame, because the dialogue's one of the best parts of the movie, and top of,
Well, dialogue is just one of the many reasons why... Well, it's probably the main contributing reason why you want to sit down and watch the movie in the first place. But back then, when I saw this movie, I think twice in theaters, because it left that much of an impact on me. Yeah, I saw it 2 times.
It's written smartly without being pretentious, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's just funny. You know, it's well written and it makes me laugh.
I also think it's one of the best looking Pixar movies, too. Like,
oh, yeah.
Especially considering that this movie's almost 10 years old. You know, this is like the first time they got people to look good. Because people look like aliens.
Go watch Toy Story and look at Andy and Sid.
Please no.
Actually, going into the way The Incredibles looks nowadays, when I was watching it just a few days ago, I guess prepare ourselves for this commentary, I noticed that, like, animation-wise, yeah, it's great. I will say that there are... I think it does look a bit aged, though, in terms of, like, model quality.
Well, it also has that CG movie problem of everything looks kind of a little too clean and plasticky. Which isn't so much The Incredibles as just CG movies in general, but...
Well, there's a remarkable amount of detail, like, even for back then, like, you can see the individual fibers on his suit there in that one shot.
And no one sees him just change.
Now, if you haven't cottoned on to this fact already, The Incredibles is basically, I guess you could call it maybe a satire on the whole superhero genre?
I consider it Watchmen, but not incredibly depressing. Watchmen with a happy ending.
Kid-friendly Watchmen.
With a hint of Fantastic Four thrown into the mix.
The entire team, the entire team is basically the Fantastic Four.
Well, I would say this is the best Fantastic Four, not Fantastic Four film I've ever watched in my life, because I actually don't give a crap about Fantastic Four, but I can get down with this.
I find them boring.
Well, there's not a whole lot of competition for good Fantastic Four movies, though.
Not even the Fantastic Four movies themselves.
Although The Incredibles cannot possibly match up to the might that is Rise of the Silver Surfer, a cinematic masterpiece.
Do you think, like, the developers of Pixar were, like, got a lot of kicks out of, like, late 80s, early 90s television?
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, this really just looks like a brighter Gotham / Metropolis.
Well, I was getting more of more of adult TV shows, because the name of the guy who appears in every single Pixar film it's John something.
Ratzenberger.
Yeah, that guy. He appears in every. He's from Cheers, obviously, and then we have Craig T. Nelson here, who is obviously the head of Coach. You guys ever seen Coach? I take it nobody ever saw Coach.
And am I the only one who thinks of Freakazoid whenever he shows up in the flashbacks?
Yes, yeah.
Fanboy!
Like, see, if I was a criminal and I was trying to hide from the police, I wouldn't go onto a roof where there was no place for me to run.
As long as nobody's seen you go into the roof, then you're okay.
Just as long as there's no superheroes with the ability to fly.
Yeah, unless you live in the town with Spider-Man in it.
Or jump very high.
You mean the town with Spider-Man, Iron Man, Daredevil, Captain America, Thor, Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange? Why would anybody ever commit crime in New York in the Marvel universe? That's just a bad idea.
I was just gonna say, or New York in general. You could just avoid doing crime in New York. I actually heard for like I haven't played it myself yet, but the Disney Infinity game that came out recently, they actually managed to get all the voice actors and actresses back for the incredible characters. You know what? Yeah, but just for them that merits alone, I kind of want to give the game a shot. But if they didn't get Samuel Jackson back for Frozone, I'm not interested.
You know what they need to do next? Get all the voice actors back for a sequel.
It's never gonna happen, Tom.
Damn it, Brad Bird!
They leave it open for a sequel at the end, though. They did say, like, look, here is our sequel. And then they just...
Wait, wasn't there a video game sequel, like Rise of the Underminers?
Yeah, but who played that? Honestly.
Oops, spoilers.
I think Craig T. Nelson saw the design of the suit. It's okay, I'm in.
As long as I get my own replica.
With a Craig T. Nelson head.
Just to wear around the house. Just to wear around the house.
Hi, not Joker.
Love this guy.
I love the guy's name.
He actually makes a cameo appearance in Ratatouille.
He does?
Yeah.
No one cares, fanboy. You can't just buy power. You just can't buy superpower. Tell that to Batman.
What was that line from Powerpuff Girls?
No, fanboy.
Oh, you gigantic fuck up.
So would you say about 8 minutes in, this is probably already the darkest Pixar film they've done already?
Well, WALL-E starts off with the world being destroyed, so...
Oh, okay. Come on, there's no contest when you compare it to WALL-E.
Good point, yeah.
Did it much faster than Spider-Man.
Everyone inside the train just broke their skulls.
That actually ends up being a plot point, so hold on to that thought. Well, there was also way better extra acting than in Spider-Man.
And with 100% less orgasmic face.
So good. It's refreshing to see the local authorities cooperate with the superheroes for a change.
They're not exactly eye to eye with the police, though, because as you see here in this scene, like he's complimenting Mr. Incredible for saving the train, but they get on his case like, you let Bon Voyage go, though.
This is the emptiest wedding I've ever seen.
I always think it was by invitation only. You have to be a super to begin with to get an invitation.
Super priest.
That's something she said earlier.
I'd hate to be the priest at this wedding. It's just like they're talking to each other the entire time. It's just like, I'm trying to speak here.
They're supers. What's he gonna do? Or is the priest a super himself?
With the power to marry people.
You see, now I hope that Batman versus Superman opens with this exact same scene where they're suing Superman for blowing up Metropolis. The second half of the fight scene where he like takes down 6 buildings and blows up everything, that wasn't his fault.
By the way, you can't do that.
Wouldn't that fall under like Good Samaritan law or something or other?
Something similar to that, but you can't sue somebody for ruining your suicide.
You know, if there's here's the thing about like revolting against superpowered people. If I'm gonna pick on someone, I wouldn't pick on someone who could like fry my brain with a thought or rip off my skull by flicking it or something like that.
That doesn't stop Lex Luthor.
That's a very Metropolis shot, though.
You talking about the old classic Metropolis or the Superman Metropolis?
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Wow, he's let himself go.
Well, he's still pretty bulky.
I love Holly Hunt in this movie. Like I've only seen a couple of other stuff with her in it, but this is probably I think my favorite movie with her in it.
Well, what else has she done? Because I looked up her IMDb page.
She did some TV show. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but she's done a couple of other things, and I enjoy her much more here because she has. And everything else I've seen her in, she's always very angry, and here she has like an actual range of human emotion. Like she's happy at points and sad at other points and angry when she needs to be.
See, I recognized her face when I looked her up. I thought she was the girl from Sex and the City.
The horse or the one of the other three?
Damn right.
No, not the horse.
Going in hard like shit. And here's Rex. I love this actor.
I do too.
I love him so much, I don't know his name.
Yeah. Wallace Shawn. His name is Wallace Shawn.
There you go.
And he just turned 70.
Okay, now here's something that the part of the movie that I know is played up for comedy, but I have to ask is that even though superheroes aren't like out in public anymore, it's still got to be common knowledge that they used to exist. So the fact that he runs really fast shouldn't be surprising to these guys. Although I guess on the video footage it does just look like a video glitch.
Well, no, I don't think the Registration Act was supposed to completely eliminate the memory of supers, just to conceal their identities.
Well, no, that's my point. Basically, is that these guys are acting like superpowers wouldn't exist, and it's just like, yeah, they exist. They're just not.
Because I think you don't want to put it out in public. You know, suddenly everybody knows, like, oh, you got a mutant or a superhero inside the school, and everything starts going haywire.
Yeah, it just keeps getting requests to run really fast.
Some
Interfere with his studies. Dashel, really?
Yeah, I was going to bring it up myself, but I figured these guys probably already got the preemptive, so I'll just wait. Yeah, his name is...
What are the odds that a boy named Dashel will get super speed?
Wow, he's almost realistically proportioned compared to everyone else.
Well, more like he looked through you, but whichever.
I actually heard that of all the difficulties or technical problems that Pixar had when making this film, it was Violet's hair.
Well, it's long, and you can see they tried to animate each individual strand,
Yeah, each
or
individual
at least
strand.
clumps of strands.
Yeah, I think you can actually find like a developer's commentary or
Yeah, right.
like behind the scenes stuff where there's like a lot of glitch scenes where her hair is like she just got zapped.
Yeah, they had to do a lot of work for Sully's fur in Monsters Inc.
Yeah, for every Pixar movie, they put a lot of attention into one specific graphical detail so that they can show how fancy they are. Like for Brave, it was Merida's hair, which probably required like 12 different computer programs to get to look right. I think I think it was supposed to be like the fabric on all the different clothing for this one. You see, this was an average dinner at my house when I was about 8 years old.
I never really had many sit around the table with the TV off dinner times.
Well, that's just because you lack family values, John.
Like, here's the pot, here's the food, there's the plate. Serve yourself, go back to your room.
At this rate, we're just going to be watching the movie and cuckling instead of saying anything.
It's a quite domestic scene. What do you expect?
Pray to God we never have to do a Breaking Bad commentary.
That was one of my favorite lines. You'd eat it if you had Tony loaf. That's something my sister would say a lot for some reason. Oh, the city's called Metroville.
I don't believe it took me this long to get the flexible joke.
Oh, the writing wasn't even in English on part of that on part of that newspaper.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. Honey, it's Samuel L. Jackson.
She has a point.
I do love the deconstruction discussions they have. Yeah.
He starts monologue. You're way too enthusiastic about a burning building, dude. Okay, if there's one thing that hasn't aged very well in this, it's fire in CG always ends up looking kind of crap. Video games have that same problem too, where I've never really seen fire effects that look pretty realistic, or at least convincing.
Well, it really all depends on the art style they're going for. I mean, obviously, like a realistic fire is going to look different to a CG movie that's going for more of exaggerated proportions in terms of character designs and location settings.
I like how the superheroes in this case look really like no different than burglars.
I love the payoff to this. Dude, I'm just getting a drink of water.
Yeah, dude, I think you just really need to chill out.
I knew it was coming, but I was powerless to stop it.
He was already going to make a freeze pun.
Arnold Schwarzenegger has taught me well.
It took them that long to notice that there was a big icicle-shaped human there. Human-shaped icicle, sorry. Scratch that, reverse it.
Yeah, gotta be very specific when talking about human-shaped icicles. Jesus Christ, someone help that man back there. He's dying. Don't fall for it.
The cake was booby trapped.
Busted!
This is the scene where we find out which of the two wears the pants, right?
Elastigirl totally wears the pants. Although she's wearing a bathrobe right now and he's technically wearing pants, but still.
Thank you, Ted. That was the joke.
I just gotta wonder how you can manage to pull out one piece of rubble on his shirt like that. You must have ungodly perception. Or is that just part of your superpower too? You can stretch your vocal.
When she stretches her eyeball to notice the piece of rubble.
Stretches those senses. I like this. It's a very adult conversation, again, without dumbing it down for the kids.
But generally, the best cartoons or movies in general are those that cater to both crowds. You know, kids are satisfied because of the action pieces, and adults are entertained because of these set pieces.
No, I remember when I was a kid, the parts of this movie I remember the most are the dialogue sequences. I mean, I love blowing stuff up and beating up bad guys, but the dialogue was for me, even when I first saw it, the most memorable part of the movie. It takes a lot of skill to write a movie so that both kids and adults will like it just as much when they watch it at the same time.
But it's also very easy to relate is if you're your average middle class American or just family in general.
Or if you're a superhero.
Or well, yeah, obviously, but they're not using superheroes here. They're not using this. Talking like a normal human being is not a superpower. Common sense, maybe, but having these discussions is, this is stuff that normal people can relate to, and I think that's why we love it so much, really.
It's kind of why I generally prefer some of Marvel's superheroes over DC's ones, because they're more relatable in that sense too.
Now, there's the subtle thing about his cubicle there is that he has the one next to the giant support beam, so his is the smallest one in the entire floor, even though he's the biggest dude. Yeah, that's not a joke that they like call attention to, but it's still like it's a funny background thing.
He's a bit obsessed with keeping things in order. It's not a rhetorical question, Bob.
Why do you need 4 clocks?
Because 3 would be silly.
I was going to bring up different time zones, but they're all showing the exact same time.
That's because the only time that matters is the work hours.
This guy, I don't like him because he's realistic.
Well, then the developers did a good job.
He's every manager on Wall Street personified and put into a tiny, tiny body. Now, technically, with this scene here, the guy, that guy, they're breaking the law. I think there's a Good Samaritan clause somewhere that says if you see a crime and you don't do anything to stop it, like call the police or something, you could actually go to jail or be fined or something.
Well, there's got to be. Well, yeah, like calling the police is pretty much the amount you could do. I don't think Good Samaritan laws require you to burst out the window to stop the crime in process.
I'll save you. Oh shit!
Well, just saying that technically they could, he could get arrested if somebody reported it. Wow, 5 different offices, a new record.
I hope nobody saw that. Here comes MIB to straighten everything out.
Tommy Lee Jones?
Here we go.
Actually, he does look remarkably similar to Tommy Lee Jones.
How is MIB free, by the way? I never got around to seeing it.
It didn't really need to exist, is basically what I thought of it.
I have yet to watch it myself.
Although it's better than 2. Anything's better than 2.
I didn't think 2 was that bad, but that's for a different discussion.
Put you underground. Maybe Atlantis. Atlantis is good.
Nobody takes them seriously anyway. They would never expect it. Has a timeline ever been set for this? Like, is it supposed to be like the like Batman the Animated Series, where the time and place is very ambiguous? Like, you're not sure if it's 50s or 60s.
I always assumed modern day, but it's got like it. Well, the hero period where they were all doing super stuff is obviously supposed to be like 50s, 60s, but the technology they have here is like a mix of 90s and mid 2000s, and all the sci-fi stuff is like super futuristic. So
Yeah.
I don't know. The year EX.
Right next to 2000X.
Get your new iPad today. It will scan you and tell you if you're a superhero or not.
The Connect 4.
You see, if you actually read the Apple terms and conditions, it's not that far apart from that.
If you're a superhero, we own you.
Oh, it's a holographic iPad.
It's collectible.
This room now belongs to the NSA.
Such as picking things up, and let's not forget, picking things up.
Hey, punching things is an incredibly specific skill set. Not anybody can punch things.
That's a subset of his skills, come on now. What would be the less embarrassing thing to say?
Porn! I'm watching porn!
I'm trying to masturbate in here, honey! Oh, yeah, definitely Uncanny Valley.
It's very round. Nobody has a
Is it her nose or is it her eyes?
Ah, the ego shrine. I have one myself. It's all negative YouTube comments.
And that's when I saved the day, and that's when I saved the day, and that's when I saved the day.
And those are my pajamas.
That I was awarded when I saved the day.
This is a very subtle scene. I'm glad they don't draw attention to this. This situation is awkward because in an earlier scene he was fired.
we don't like to bring that up.
The wife does not know this, and thus it creates tension.
Well, I mean, I went through my boss through like 5 offices. I mean, if it was 6, I think firing might be appropriate.
5 gives you a better wiggle room.
Back then, I used to be 12. I'm not the man I used to be.
You know, Mirage was also the name of a villain in the Aladdin TV series. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
What sort of accent is she supposed to have?
She's from Ambiguasia.
Ambiguasia.
No one's never really sure how to classify that. It's very ambiguous.
Is that north or south of Nondescriptistan?
It could be either.
You know what it is about Mirage that I know bothers me? And I think it's her nose. Her nose is so high angled you can see her nostrils at all times, to the point where it actually gives the illusion that she doesn't have a nose.
It's funny because he's fat.
That's good, because I usually forget to not die. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the island from Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Well, there's no rocket barrel, so it's automatically better.
Are you sure it's not Jurassic Park? Because it looks like it.
Richard Attenborough just comes out of nowhere. Welcome to Jurassic Park, and he punches him out of reflex. Oh god.
What I don't get is why, if this guy was moonlighting as a secret superhero anyway for a while, why did he let himself develop a beer belly?
Well, he only went superhero-ing once every Wednesday, so, you know, that's an awful lot of other nights watching old Superman reruns, drinking beer by the couch.
Smallville or The Adventures of Lois and Clark?
Back to back.
Hopefully in this universe, Smallville doesn't exist.
Well.
Blood? We can't have blood in a Disney movie.
Oh no, it's learning. Now it's not going to just let me punch it.
Now I have to follow up with the dropkick.
Did the robot really have to learn don't be punched?
Punching is bad. Duly noted.
We all have to at some point in our lives.
Oh, I get why there's so many smooth hillsides to run around. This dude's just trying to recreate a Sonic the Hedgehog level. I threw a rock at him.
And another.
Oh, ominous coloring.
Wow, this dude just went through a jungle zone, a forest zone, a rock zone, and a lava zone in like 30 seconds.
It's the Master System version of Sonic 1.
I thought you were supposed to not kill the robot.
It's okay, it's back now. Haha, now I have buffed myself with fire.
Now I'm slightly hotter.
Now you'll be singed before I throw you directly into lava.
Wait, did he just straighten out his beer belly?
Oh, this is childish. A very childish method of superhero-y. I give up, you win.
It just ripped its own brain out.
I just like how it's still active after knocking out both of its sensors.
Okay, that counts as not damaging the robot, right? Good. I'm off for a beer.
It's still relatively intact.
Oh my god, the bird has superpowers.
That bird creeped me the hell out when I saw it in theaters.
But make it a poison dinner.
I think being a superhero gives you a super immunity too.
Okay, I'm pretty sure lava can't part like that.
I'm pretty sure having a lava fall in your dining room would turn the temperature up to like 200 degrees.
You don't need to wear your mask at the table, I do know who you are. I don't feel complete without it.
Well, look how it's stuck so firmly to his eyebrows to the point where it moves with his face. I think it's actually painful to remove.
Or paint it on.
There's like 5 tons of spirit gum on that thing. Have you ever tried to rip that stuff off your face? Especially your eyes? Ow.
In fact, when you see him normally, he's actually just wearing a pink mask over it. And then he takes that one off when he goes superheroing. Okay, cue the success montage.
I really love the music in this movie too. I forget who did the music, but did great. I love the sort of super brassy sort of sound that this movie has.
Again, it's evoking the golden age, 50s, 60s, etc. Saucy! That's too saucy for a Disney movie. Don't give me any of that. No, it's Disney Pixar, Tom. Fuck off.
Well, they might as well be separate entities at this point. Doesn't, like, Pixar... I've heard stories of, like, people in Pixar really not liking that they have to work for Disney. Or...
Well, that's tough shit, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you work for Disney and you basically have enough money to... Because they're working for Disney, they have to do a Cars in order to make them happy, but in return they can make whatever other movies they want. Is basically how I think they're...
So they're the way forward of
Yeah, basically.
the movie industry.
Although I think way forward being the Pixar of gaming would probably be more accurate. Aw, I'm gonna need to buy new pajamas.
It must have got ripped when that death robot was trying to shiv me.
I lost 60 pounds just by sitting on my ass. Thanks, Office Space.
Oh, best scene in the movie.
Yep.
Best scene in the movie.
Greatest character ever right here.
I think this is the voice is actually the director, Brad Bird.
Yeah, this is Brad Bird.
I'm trying to remember the story, but he was talking to the actress he wanted to do her voice, and he just did a voice mimicking it just so that the actor or actress could get an idea, and they just said, you know what, that's just good enough, you should just do it.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went down.
Fucking art of this movie is astounding.
Oh, there's like Greek, like the Medusa and other Greek people on the back of the wall carved there. I never noticed that before.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. Plus 10 to defense, darling.
Gotta bring all the defense you got when you're deciding clues for superheroes.
Also, poison wears off 3 turns earlier. That's it. That's a new feature. I'm fucking in love with this voice.
It will be 90s.
I love that little animation there of him leaning forward. I don't know why. It just seems very expressive.
No capes.
It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, the 58 was when this happened, so it's got to be like 80s, 90s.
Welp.
Granted, you kind of deserve to die.
There you go. We can go home now, folks. No, I'm just kidding. You got 4 more fucking movies to do. Stay where you are.
The best line in the entire movie. Who'd ever thought that a cape would be a good idea?
Yeah, that's like a topic in superheroes that doesn't really get brought up that much. No one really considers the consequences of, cape snagging.
Well, I think the only one that's allowed to get away with the cape now is Superman.
Well, the only person who's ever used his cape for anything, like actual functional use, is Batman, because he glides on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Batman, it's more than just cosmetic.
But like Superman, you'd think that would.
Superman is completely cosmetic. There is no reason for him to have a cape. But the cape is iconic with Superman. You don't just take it away from him.
Yeah, well, stupid red underwear is also iconic, and DC got rid of that too. So,
yeah, but they will never get rid of the cape.
I watched like an interview with I think it's Zack Snyder, where he explained that, and I didn't know this actually, so props to Snyder, I guess, that the underwear is a holdover from the whole strongman era.
Like circuses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, see you, honey. I'm off to lie to you again. Bye. I'm being dishonest.
Well, it's just she thinks he's having an affair. It's just like, oh, you should have just been upfront. Oh, honey, I'm not banging another woman. I'm just endangering my life regularly.
For you.
That was the fastest refill ever.
Now they have multiple glasses on standby.
Okay, it's a mantis-shaped ship. Surely you got to cotton onto the fact that it's not good.
You see, the tone of the beginning of the movie feels more like Mission Impossible than like a normal superhero. Or this part, at the very least, feels very much like a Mission Impossible sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible if it took place in superheroes.
Mirage herself reminds me of like a Bond villainess, like a secretary to the villain or something.
I was thinking that myself too. Great, it all makes sense. You know, he's doing all this secretly. You know, it's not like he's not like he's doing all this for public sake and stuff like that.
I would say the whole jungle area of the film is where the animation really shines. I mean, yeah, the city places, they look fine, but, the foliage, the waterfall, the lava, it just gives the animation more chance to flourish. Now, that number back there, I believe, is a recurring thing in Pixar films.
Yeah, A113, I saw a Tumblr post that listed all the different things that they have in Pixar movies.
Wasn't it the name of like a dorm room or something like that, or
Dorm room, I think it was on a license plate at some point. I could look it up, but that would require...
No, I mean like the significance of the number. I believe it was something like a few of the developers had in college or something like that. It's something like that, I'm pretty sure.
Don't make me say it.
She says it like it's her old stripper name or something.
That I designed, but let's just gloss over that fact.
That's a fish place.
I thought it was fire too, but I looked at it. Wait, that's fish.
A fish place.
Well, then what's with the random block of wood?
Yeah, fish place. Let's see if Santa get through this.
How do we all feel about the design of the incredible costumes?
They remind me of Blasto, and that's not a good thing.
Get retro on our asses, right?
Well, they're obviously reminiscent of the Fantastic Four outfits, which I have to assume is on purpose. Although I like the color scheme a little bit better, if only because I like red more than blue.
The color is okay. I don't like the material. It's a bit too glossy. Like I would have actually liked it if the you know how like the Amazing Spider-Man put a little more attention with like the detail of the suit itself.
Oh yeah, with all the texture.
With all I would granted, probably limits of technology at the time. Well, not that much limits, but I would have liked a little more texture on the suit itself. But as it is, it's okay. I like it. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
One of my favourite Disney or Pixar villains here. And one of the only flat-out Pixar villains, period. The rest are kind of ambiguous.
Yeah, you're right. Like, Toy Story doesn't have a villain. WALL-E doesn't really have... Well, the robot. The robot.
No, the villain in WALL-E is humanity itself.
Yeah, the villain of WALL-E is mad.
Well, there's the ship captain who doesn't want them to go back. Well, not the ship captain, the robot.
He was just following the Prime Directive, mate.
What about the grasshopper in A Bug's Life?
Okay, he was a bit of a prick.
The Bug's Life is also one of my least favorite Pixar movies, though.
Yes, I love that line.
You got me monologuing.
I do love Jason Lee because I was already well familiar with him with like Kevin Smith's movies and stuff like that. Like no, Clerks 2 was after The Incredibles. So I'm trying to remember. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He was in that. He was pretty good in that. Dogma. He was in that too. Overall, I just like Jason Lee to me. Just defines class.
I know his face. Was he the guy who sent the kids on rollerblades after
Yes.
Jay and Silent Bob?
He was the
Yes, great
he
guy.
was the guy in the white suit. A spoon.
Oh no!
Oh crap, I'm being ejected into Final Fantasy X.
This is my story.
Here lies Cyclops' popularity.
Oh my god.
That's one of the guys that was at the wedding.
Oh, Kronos is a Greek. There's a lot of Greek stuff in the background of this movie that I've never really noticed before.
It all harkens back to Hercules, the trials, heroic stuff in general.
Yeah, Hercules is like the first superhero, so that actually makes a lot of sense.
Like, I don't know how that didn't scan him, to be honest.
'Cause bones.
Oh yeah, because we all know bones block radiation. You can't actually get poisoned through your bones. It's impossible. I don't know if any of you see this, but whenever I look at Ender Mode, I always think of Maddie Blaustein. Just in terms of looks. Meowth's old voice actress. I'll take that as a no then.
If I don't say anything, it's safe to assume.
I don't think this little imp person knows why his wife is here in the first place.
And this room is strictly for the underwear. You should see the other rooms.
And those are my assorted pointy things.
This is my tea. Drink up.
So she pretty much made these on the assumption that if Mr. Incredible was back in her work and he's getting the whole family involved too.
You just showed her an image of her baby being shot with machine guns from every direction. Are you mad? Don't answer that. We also have a Jurassic Park style tour going on right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Dino DNA. She'll be about as useful as the Invisible Woman. Brilliant. I can see a flaw in this design. The suit may be indestructible, but you aren't.
Internal hemorrhaging is never anything to worry about.
Don't worry, darling. Blood will come out in the wash.
Hey, I mean, it's red. It might not even show up at all if you're lucky.
Wait, didn't you come here because you thought he was having an affair? There was the thing with the phone and the... But now she's saying he wouldn't keep secrets? What? Where is the logic here? How is your brain working?
Well, there's a difference between suspecting your husband is having an affair and actually, believing that, convincing yourself that your husband is having an affair.
If you're suspecting it, there's something in you, I think, that still wants to protect your husband's identity.
So we're on a track, on a car in a car that's on a track that moves automatically, on a jungle island. And that gate.
Just stop, okay? We don't want to get Pixar sued. I can just picture the stealth level in the game.
Does he have his own theme song?
Mr. Incredible version of stealth. Punch, punch, punch.
You see, he skipped over throwing a rock to make noise to use as a distraction. He used the rock to knock someone out, which made noise, and the guy was used as a distraction.
It's a distraction and a +1.
Ah, great. One of these levels. You can never remember which way to go in these things. Okay, so if you're gonna check to see whether that lava is actually lava, why don't you just... Oh. You know, I would have picked up something a little bit lighter to throw, but okay, that works.
I'd just like to point out this is not how lava works at all. Do not try this at home.
I duly noted, I'll make sure.
Cheese it, the feds!
Now I'll never be able to take this Easter Island head with me.
This is like the final Bowser level in Mario Galaxy 2. Cerebro. Magneto.
Cerebro was the thingy that Xavier used to find mutants.
It was so delicate that human beings can only describe it as a thingy.
Well, that's what it is. He puts on the hat, and then like a whole bunch of like images roll around, and then he finds people. Now, we're not seeing it right now. It's going to pop up in a few minutes, but this is really one of the most heartbreaking. Well, not really heartbreaking, but just like you see the scene, and then he finds out, oh, looks like every one of my friends is dead. That's just like Jesus.
It's a lot of. It's a good use of. It's a very good use of show don't tell.
It's a very well paced movie.
Going back to how well paced it is, when I said I was watching the movie earlier in the week, and I ended up watching the entire thing because I just couldn't stop watching, I completely forgot this is over for a 2-hour film.
Yeah, we're like into like an hour of the movie now. Doesn't feel like it at all. Yes, thank you for the PowerPoint presentation. Very succinct.
Black licorice, my one weakness.
Oh, I hate this stuff.
So many calories.
No, I couldn't eat another bite.
My diet is ruined.
I told you those milk duds would be the death of you.
Ednick doesn't give a shit.
Putting an incinerator in your trash can seems like an awfully bad idea, though.
I'm amazed how much Brad Bird can like enunciate and get like enthusiastic without losing the voice. Because he's not really a voice actor. He's not really trained to do that.
It can work both ways though. Have you ever seen like Adam Sandler's Eight Crazy Nights? You know he voices Eleanor in that movie too.
Looking back at this movie again, I'm surprised at how little the kids actually have to do. Well, not have to do, but they don't push them into scenes that they're not necessary, is more what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of the movies like these will push the kid characters to the forefront to appeal to the younger audience, but here it's mostly about Helen and Bob, and not so much about them.
You know, from that angle, Violet actually looked like the Thing wearing a sweater and vest. I mean, Adam's Family thing, not Fantastic Four thing.
Fun fact about this scene in the movie: remember watching the deleted scenes in the special features for this a really long time ago, and apparently they were going to add a scene to this part of the movie where the pilot dude that Helen borrows the plane from was a character, and then he dies in the upcoming plane crash. But they ended up cutting it out because adding a character just to kill them 10 minutes later is kind of mean, and also a waste.
Very Star Trek.
Also, a little bit of a spoiler, but all the plane talk, so to speak, is completely legit. It's like on the nose. If you go to like look it up, it's all yeah.
Well, it makes sense that she'd learn how to fly a plane.
It doesn't sound like your usual technobabble gibberish that you're just saying for the sake of sounding like you know what you're doing.
Oh, he's geeking out right now. Oh, he said it himself. Thank you.
He's like the most nerdy fanboy I've ever seen in my life.
And with that, the humming device is fried.
Man, they're surprisingly on the ball. Like to cater to any one of his demands. Yay, bickering.
So, did anyone actually watch this scene over again to see if they could pick out individual words from one of the two?
It was tempting. I think I got the gist that it was pretty much Violet's idea, and Dash being so hot-headed
Have you guys see the short where they cover the babysitting visit here?
Oh, Jack Attack.
Yeah, that one.
I love the line from Syndrome. Something. I tried to call myself the babysitter, but that wouldn't really fly because I had a big BS on my chest.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of that short.
Stuff you miss when you watch it when you're 12. The G-forces on this would be, like, nuts.
It's also a super plane.
Wow, that was a sharp pull-up.
Yeah, all this lingo is legit. They didn't just invent words, put them in a movie. They're all real.
Well, all they had to do to figure out what the right thing is to talk to a couple of pilots and see what they would actually say.
And write the script. No, get the pilots to write the script.
That's generally what movie makers, game makers will do when they're researching this stuff, is contact the people who actually get involved with it. If they bother to research, it's like I'm pretty sure there was some military involved when they researched like gun safety and stuff for Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay, so now there's going to be a little bit of a physics thing here that doesn't make sense, is that if they used a parachute to slowly float down to the bottom here like they're going to do... Oh, well, you can see it. If they parachuted down, they shouldn't have fallen before all of that other debris.
If you die, I'm going to ground you. No, but you see, it's funny because they bury people when they die.
Oh shit, shouldn't have said that.
Alternately, you could just hold on until he decides to hit the electricity switch.
Well, that might shock her, too.
And he's kind of fighting the restraints too, because you saw how his arm snapped back into position.
Well, the point of the scene is that he doesn't give a shit, and she's gonna be all traitorous.
Yeah, it's as if the shifty eyes weren't a dead giveaway already.
Okay, we are now reaching new levels of ridiculousness here.
This might be one of the more creative uses of stretchy powers.
Hey, boat creation is probably one of the most unique uses of super stretchiness. I've got to wonder how many miles they had to do that for, though.
I have a theory that all of the money that was won when the superheroes got sued and stuff just went into this. It was all that stupid little kid's evil scheme, and he used it to pay for this.
Scheming for 15 years and beyond. His thigh should be like twice as huge after that.
Dash has a massive head.
They'll kind of sort of cover up your eyes, making it...
It'll make you look like you got punched in the face twice. Once on the left, once on the right. He says that it's so happy-like.
I gotta run from danger. Things will blow up and people will die. Yeah!
But I won't be anywhere near it.
Now, he just... I get to use my super speed? Really?
Only this once. And only if you eat your vegetables.
It's gotta be frustrating, these kids growing up with superpowers and never being able to use them.
Yeah, you can create force fields, and that's all about what you can do, really. You can block people, and you can encase people, and turn invisible. Why are you on this team again?
Moral support, I get it. Yeah, I think according to the comments, really important stuff.
Also, if you haven't already figured out the pun in her name, Shrinking Violet. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
At least it's subtle than Dash. Not compensating for anything at all.
He is a supervillain.
Gotta love nominal determinism.
Look, I know the answer could be chalked up to he's evil, but why the hair?
Because he's a massive DBZ fan.
I was gonna say Jimmy Neutron.
He's a fan of that too. They decided to fuse them.
Are you trying to confuse the timelines even more?
You see, Elastigirl knows how to stealth.
There's a video game where there's a mini game where you have to swing back and forth while hanging from the train, isn't there?
I don't know, I've never played... I know there is an Incredibles video game, but I never played it because even back then I knew not to get licensed stuff. Although if somebody actually gave a shit about the property, this would probably make a good video game.
Again, Disney Infinity.
Yeah. Well, did that end up being good? Or,
Did we not discuss this at the start of the commentary?
well, I know we mentioned it, but I don't know if anyone mentioned that it ended up being a good game or not.
I'm just busting your balls, Ted, don't worry about it.
It hurts. Stop busting my balls.
So, I just wanted to know if the game was good. Getting stomped in my testes, eh?
Great, the Siphon Filter School of Stealth. Just, cling to the ceiling.
This scene's for the dads.
Well, if you really wanted to make it smaller, all you'd have to do is, stretch your body and stuff.
Now, think of the strain, Ted. Let it hang out.
Are you familiar with how elasticity works?
Not when it involves superheroes, no.
Things stretch over time is what I was trying to get at. Look on the bright side, people can have a very good hula contest.
She's stuck through 3 doors now.
That's a nice face. Bam.
This isn't normal. That's not how you limbo, guys.
Limbo, that's it. Fucking hero.
That was an amusing scene.
And now back to the movie.
Yep, nobody will notice these here.
Nobody will notice the similarities to Metal Gear. Nobody.
Yep, still useless.
Gotta do something. It's application.
I'm just gonna go run around the earth a few times. You stay here and contain some fire. Okay, so Dash is just basically the Human Torch and the Flash combined, right?
Well, no, he can't. The Human Torch could fly and turn himself on fire.
The Human Torch didn't need to carry a torch.
I was actually talking in terms of, like, the personality.
Oh yeah, personality-wise, he's like an 8-year-old Human Torch.
So he's an adult Human Torch. Wow, suddenly this cave is looking disturbingly artificial. Wonder if that means I'm getting close to the dragon's den.
We're gonna kill you! Kill you! Kill you!
Okay, now here's something I never got: is how does if this passage is horizontal, how did the vertical fire end up going all the way down it?
Well, rocket exhaust is pretty powerful shit.
It got vented down a very narrow cave, and it followed that narrow cave. And when that cave turned, it turned with it.
Brings up the eternal question, how do you funnel bees?
Level 13. So either somebody's trying to run a really, 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 like a first model PS3, or that's where my husband is.
Gotta take my chances. There's one thing I do want to point out though, because I don't think Violet's headband was ever part of the costume that Edna made, but it disappears right along with her. But I'll give the movie some slack.
The correct password was, Syndrome is the best.
It's time for a wacky chase scene.
Now, as cool as those things are, they have to be the most impractical flying saucer design I've ever seen in my life.
They're very Star Wars-esque, yeah.
Just jumping ahead by like a minute here, we're probably gonna get like some really big Return of the Jedi moments here.
Yeah, I remember the part where Han Solo crushed a woman's head.
I think it might have been a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about like crushing your windpipe and everything.
You're a super, right? You'll get over it.
Dun-dun-dun! Damn!
I think he was trying to pull a Superman with the whole memory erase kiss.
Wait, what? That happened?
You don't have that power.
That's one way to erase an awkwardly timed entrance.
And now to spin the world in time travel.
Quick, go invisible! Bullets won't hurt invisible people.
They'll never see it coming.
Boo.
Gotta go fast.
Little kids wearing jumpsuits and superhero masks. I wonder if they're supers.
I hear this level in the game is actually pretty good.
I would not be comfortable flying right next to someone who has the same vehicle as I do.
I get where your Return of the Jedi comparison comes from, because this is basically just a super-powered spinning blade chopper
Thingy.
version of the thingy.
It goes straight from the bike scene to the pod racing scene and back again.
Yeah. Here's another part that I like is that he punches the mook, and then he looks at it and realizes like that's a dude, and then like a real person behind the mook.
Who just died, by the way.
Yeah, but it's just like he realizes for a moment there that this isn't just a mook, I'm punching a dude that actually exists.
Actually, I think what he might have noticed was the oncoming cliff.
Well, if you say it like that, then it completely ruins the total introspective, subtle detail thing that I was trying to pull out.
This movie is not as down to earth as you think it is, Ted.
Yeah, super speed lets you run across water.
Jesus mode activate!
I think I got this upgrade in Saints Row 4.
Oh, that game is crazy.
It's fucking insane, yeah.
There's no point stealing a car ever.
I never played that game, but can I just ask now, can you fly in that game?
You can jump really, really high, and you can sort of knuckles glide.
So you might not flight. Okay.
Okay, so we're basically playing Jungle Joyride Day right now.
Only with the U-turn feature, which I wish we could have.
No, if this were Jungle Joyride, Dash there would have died when he passed under the surface of the water.
Whoa!
That was a really uncreative nickname. You deserve to be hit in the head with a stick for it.
Again, bullets don't hurt invisible people. Combining superpowers.
Wait, are they in a force field hamster ball? I want to stop running now.
So we went from Super Monkey Ball to Katamari Damacy. I caught myself 2 supers.
This is an even more blatant video game montage than Wreck-It Ralph right now.
Four. More people dead.
Now they're mooks. They don't count.
They're people, Ted.
I think I just saw a trailer shot.
Yep.
Yeah, that was definitely a trailer shot.
Everyone stop moving!
I fucking love that line.
What was with the random southern accent there?
He's fucking loving this shit, is what's wrong with that accent.
It's part of his contract.
Well, you have a wall of the times you saved the day, though.
Face it, Sejum. You'll never be a hero.
I do kind of appreciate that you don't need to have superpowers to be a hero angle. It's kind of undermined by the fact that he's a douchebag, though.
No, you don't. One of his best lines in the movie is he's saying it right now. Is if everyone's super, no one will be. So basically, he's angry at all of these superpower people. So he's going to take away the reason why they're special.
By making everyone else just as special, yeah.
I think some of my favourite bits of animation in this movie, at least, are like the whole nothing gestures, just like walking, just like limbering up, etc.
Like a lot of secondary animations, like nobody ever really considers that. Like, it's easy to animate a simple walk cycle, but give the character something to do while they're walking. I don't know, like
Just makes
maybe
them feel
like
more alive.
yeah, like adjust their shoulders or like rub their necks or something like that. It's little things, but it adds.
Don't mind me, I'm just going to actually do something to escape.
Trying to have my character development here. So, yeah. Yay, we're killing millions of people.
Having like a closing party for the scheme.
That looks wrong from the outside.
Oh, another best scene in the movie.
He's doing a lot better off than the other superheroes, isn't he?
Where's my super suit?
Yes! I think an underappreciated part of the scene is that you never see his wife, she's just shouting from off camera.
My evening is in danger.
Shield needs me.
I showed up at the ends of all these movies to get people to join the Avengers, and I can't even fight with them when it happens? That wasn't obvious at all.
Yeah, well, this is before people were always Instagramming stuff, so nobody would have noticed later on.
Surely he would have thought about this flaw beforehand. Like, make it learn from everyone except me.
The real enemy here is ego.
Okay, another best scene in the movie is right here, because if you've ever been on a road trip, this is every road trip I've been on.
Wait, so your mother was holding up the trailer?
Metaphorically, yes.
Ted, you must explain your adventures to us.
I don't know if speeding up while you're in the air would have had anything to do with how you landed, though.
Hey, but that wouldn't make for a good action scene, Ted.
Yeah, hit the ground running is the term, I think.
Driving in Boston is only a little bit more convoluted than this.
What, are all your trips this rough, complete with a damaged RV?
On a good day.
Do you always spin out of control when you try to find a good parking?
The thing about these four, I'd like to point out that none of these four are, invincible or even resistant to physical damage at all. So that was really dangerous for them.
Yes, but the suits are.
Not their faces.
No, they've got masks. They're fine.
The masks have a force field.
Yet another great monologue here.
So work as a team. Or you could have a makeout scene in the middle of the apocalypse.
Yeah,
whichever.
that works too.
That can happen. I love how she's just able to pull out indestructible, force fields, out of nowhere. Now that she's, really needs it.
My strength has never been measured, and therefore it has no limits. It's essentially how super strength works.
Super strength, I find, works on the rule of drama. If it's dramatically appropriate for it not to work, then it won't work.
The only person with super strength that has a rule that makes sense, I think, is the Hulk. Who's basically, he can be as strong as he needs to be as long as he gets pissed off enough about it.
I'm sorry, that makes sense. He gets stronger the angrier he gets. Does he have like a meter or something?
Well, gamma rays?
Well, it's the anger that triggers the power, so maybe. It's very shonen, though. It's very, very shonen.
You see, these people all have all of this trouble with the remote, and there's only one button on it.
Maybe it's pressure sensitive. See, if I press it hard enough, it might self-destruct.
How boned would they be if that fell into the water?
Why is there traffic still moving?
People got shit to do, that's why.
Yeah.
God damn it, the city's being destroyed, but I'm going to get my Big Mac.
Honey, I hear that there's a robot attacking downtown, so you're gonna want to take Fifth to pick up the dry cleaning.
Again?
You see, being invisible doesn't help when there's a giant floating indicator of your position.
See, that's what That's what happens when you just press random buttons.
Maybe they're just trying to get it to stop blinking 1200.
Oh God, are we the only ones left old enough to remember VCR timers?
I am, that's for sure.
Oh God, this is the Fantastic Four. There's even a Silver Surfer.
Oh my god, I can't believe I never realised that.
Bullseye!
Maybe in our next design, we shouldn't make the robot's hands strong enough to pierce its own armor.
Yeah, just a thought. And so ends a relatively tame climax, really, compared to other action movies, but one that's very solid, I think.
Oh, it's surprising how energetic the action is in general. Well, it's like very kinetic.
It's kinetic. Soundtrack helps, and the fact that it takes place during the day instead of at night, like in a rainy day or some sort of thing, that kind of helps. And there's really only so much Disney and Pixar can do, especially when you got kids in the vicinity. Superheroes or not.
Yeah, like beating up mooks and stuff is one thing, but you really can't have civilians being killed in these sort of things, because then you gotta. Well, they already tackled the whole innocent people getting caught in the crossfire stuff at the beginning of the movie, so they just want to end on a happy note.
But wait, we've got 5 minutes left in this movie, not counting the credits. What are they going to do next? You actually see all these messages play out in Jack Attack.
Well, I forgot how long did Jack Attack last? It wasn't it's about the same length as your typical Pixar short film, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes ish. Yeah, it's not too long. There's hijinks and such, but not too many.
Fuck me, that's creepy.
This is, blowing up a city just to claim the spotlight and killing tons of superheroes is one thing, but taking the kid and training him to hate his own family, that's just straight up balls out, mustache twirling, tying a girl up under the railroad tracks. Evil.
Okay, I get the point.
You just don't do some things. See, there's the Human Torch.
Metallo, maybe?
Metallo or Colossus.
He's a shapeshifter. He can turn into anything. He turned into a 2-ton weight, and then he turned into a fireball, and now he's the devil.
That's my Lucifer.
My Little Satan on the CW.
You really weren't expecting that. Oh, it's the cape. You see? There was foreshadowing for this.
Now that's pretty damn gruesome when you think about it.
You think that's bad? When Frollo died, he fell into a pit of lava. Who do you think had to clean up that mess? Okay, I'm fairly sure someone's going to have to have seen this.
Okay, will the baby laugh, cry, or just not do anything?
Ha 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 ha! Hilarious.
And the sitcom ending music plays. You see, you can tell she's grown as a person because she wears colors other than black now.
She still has bags underneath her eyes, though. It's kind of depressing.
So we're coming to the end of The Incredibles now. So what do you guys think of it overall compared to other Pixar films?
Well, it's obvious that me and John really like it, so I want to know what Lewis thinks since this is the first time he's actually watched it.
Well, I'm going to have to watch it again without the commentary to really get the full effect. But really fun. Did she think of the look that guy was giving?
I've never seen somebody try so hard for second place in all my life.
Here's your little tie-in to the Rise of the Underminer video game, and the guy coming up, the Underminer himself, is actually voiced by John Ratzenberger, so there's your cameo. And we're out of time here, folks, so thanks for watching yet another HellfireComms Disneython commentary, and we'll see you all next time for another one. Bye-bye.